It's like, oh, that's what's going on. You guys are trying to drive through Lake Mendota.
There's a spot for us to go.
I appreciate you
There's
know
a
that I
spot
am
for us to
psychotic.
go. No, there's a spot. We have a spot. So welcome back from your vacation. So this is episode 5 of our podcast. I mean, snap of the fingers, we're on episode 5.
Boom.
I don't think you have been here with the table.
Nope.
So what do you think?
I like it.
You like it?
These mics are crazy.
And the mics was another addition.
And Braden's wearing headphones, but we don't really show the kid. But it's like
But
we
Braden's
feel we're getting more
part of this.
professional.
Yeah, absolutely. And this podcast, we're going to touch on a bunch of different things, Chuck. We're going to touch on, so in case those folks are interested, we're going to touch on track prep. We got some track stuff going on here. We start to talk about more specifically.
Yep.
We're going to talk about some car news. There's a couple of cars that were launched the last couple of weeks that, you know, I think Braden wants to get our opinion on. And there's also this whole, I think something that's pretty cool and interesting, maybe to us, maybe to you, maybe to them, is this whole like country club lifestyle of tracking your car, which is more than, hey, we're just going to go up to a track, you know, for the day, join a group, and run for a day. Like there are country club tracks all throughout the country.
Except
country club tracks.
Except here.
Except here. Well, Autobahn maybe, but that's not for us.
It's
folk.
and is a pain if you're in Madison. It's a pain to get. I think it's a pain because you have to go through the Chicago traffic and
it's a long ride. Especially, well, we could talk about that topic first if we like.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about the country club.
The country club life of tracking our cars.
Yes.
So there's a whole bunch throughout the. I keep on saying country club and country, but Thermal's a popular one out west.
I watch a house out there that was for sale for like $3 million, and I like on my Zillow. You know, you have like the house, the
dream
goal.
homes.
I think both Jim and I, our dream home is that the garage is bigger than the house.
For sure.
So literally, there's one at Thermal Springs, and like I just couldn't imagine. I love the racetrack, but I'm not sure I'd want to hear like if I'm not racing, like hearing like.
Yeah,
like what Matt did done to his 500. Could you imagine that going by every couple minutes?
No, it would be kind of like a hoity-toity country club where there were sound limits at certain times. But
that's true.
I don't think those are their only homes.
No,
for me it would be my only home. I probably couldn't even afford that home, but
we could sell all of our cars and then we could like take the Zuma around.
Absolutely, and live on the track and say we do.
Yes,
but thinking about to your point. Like my dream home now that the kids are all out of the house, I don't know if it would be my wife's, but would literally be like a 2-bedroom home in a 10-car garage, even though I don't have 10 cars, but just something.
I think that's part of the reason you wanted to come run motorsports, though, is because you have access to like pretty much a 40-car garage.
Exactly. I have two of
so
my
now
cars
you have
here.
No excuses.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's one of the benefits we have here for recruiting certain employees.
Car storage. Cool car storage.
Exactly.
But I mean, it'd be cool, though, to live on a track, roll out of your garage. As much as we love cars, we love being around them. Like these clubs, they take care. Like you say, okay, I'm going to drive my car at 8 a.m. Your car is like sitting on the paddock. It's fueled. They've done the tire pressures.
Torque the wheels.
They torque the wheels. Everything is safe. They've kind of done the run through. And you just go out there and drive. And now that's a little bit obnoxious, but that is a service.
I think there's a lot of people that would enjoy that, but I think the guys like you and I like to. I mean, don't you want like just hand torque? I would use.
You would be involved.
I would use it a little differently as the fact I'd want it in my garage. Right. I'd want to prep it and stuff. But yes, they do offer those services. But I think the ability just to go out and go on a track and go fast and have fun, and like, I think that's an awesome opportunity. I think that, you know, for what we would expect for a track, I don't think that's going to exist though, unless we go to like a different country.
Gosh.
Because like we have Road America, we're going to go to COTA. I mean, we love Blackhawk, but it's just like, it's not a track I'd want to be a member that, you know what I'm saying? Like we like high speed, we like that, and the realistic of it. Because even Autobahn isn't like a huge, like super fast track. It's technical and stuff like that. But I don't like to get to the level of what we want. We like to watch TV and see the Indy cars on it and be like, oh, yeah, I remember that turn, or the F1 cars. Okay, I remember that. I did this, or whatever, can relate to it. But there's definitely a benefit.
Variety.
Yes.
It definitely limits your variety.
For what these cost, too. I mean, Braden put down a $45,000 initiation fee.
Right. And then a monthly, I think, like, you know, could be $6,000 to $10,000 a month.
I mean,
But what's a country club like to go play golf at? Like some of the most exclusive clubs are probably not that far off.
Oh, it's more than that. Like some of the most exclusive clubs, I mean, is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then initiation fee, and you have to live on whatever
and
that
probably
might
you're
be.
on a waiting list.
I'll be honest, I pay for my golf membership. I pay more than the annual.
Right.
But it's like, but
there's a social aspect to that, right?
But I think that when you also pay for a membership, everybody loves the idea of going to the track. Okay, I can go to the track every day.
Right.
You know how much that would cost in parts and car, like
No. Yeah.
brake pads. That's. But then you get into the whole talk like we had in the first thing. It'd be awesome.
You roll out there, sit on your porch, have a couple of cocktails, or
I spend $5,000 a month in tires because like literally that's what. Because you and I are the same. We want to go 10 out of 10. Every day we'd be trying to get our best lap time on the track.
That track. I think that for me, you nailed a point. Yeah. The variety, does it get boring? Does it get monotonous? Having to drive the same or race the same or go around the same track week after week or month after month. I think the variety of something that you and I talked about before the season started, we wanted to add to our kind of agenda for the summer, which we are. I think that's the hardest part. Yeah. But if you're talking about these country club type life for tracking, I think you're probably in a little bit of a different world. You are in a different world where this is a second or third home. It's not.
Yes, and you're still doing the other.
Yeah, you're not worried about.
And you're having them get your
car
still ready.
For me, this would be my entire life. We would have to close down the house and move here.
Right.
And then maybe not even be able to do that. Right. We wouldn't live in the $4 million house. We'd be on the. We'd be the house that's 2 blocks off of the track.
Well, you didn't know. I'm surprised you don't know. Like I have my own racetrack.
Yeah,
it's 9 acres here.
Right. Yeah, 9 acres.
You've seen some of our videos.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can set up a racetrack.
I thought you were going to call it Airport Road, which that's a public road, I guess.
Airport.
No.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
I didn't identify as driving on that road ever.
Never.
Despite
the people coming in looking for you.
That might lead back into our track prep because we did some track prep on the 3RS today, and I let somebody else drive my car to test it after we were done.
Wasn't you?
Did you ever find out who drove my car?
No.
I have no idea.
But I know we told the guy who was down here looking for you that it wasn't you.
Yeah, who?
But anyway, okay, we digress. Let's move on. But there is a new track. I don't know, Braden, if you have it, but I want to show Chuck. There's a track in Japan. Is it Japan?
Yeah, it's Japan.
It's Japan.
I did see that.
Dude, this thing is insane. I'm sure it'll be on the screen, but
what caught me was like at the end where it's like that super, like there's a big drop off and it's just like a fence. So like they're expecting people to get caught by the fence.
They carved out the top of a mountain, and they carved. Is it 22 turns, or is it somewhere around there? Yeah, like some insane amount of
22 corners.
22 corners.
2.2 miles.
2.2 miles. It's a couple 100,000, 250,000, 240,000 to join, and I'm sure there's a membership. I'm sure there aren't, and I shouldn't speak. I've never been there.
Is that U.S. dollars or is that like
yen?
$240,000 a year.
That's not like shekels or that's U.S.
Yes, U.S. dollars. No, dude, that's that. But how many tracks are in Japan like that? You have accessibility to? I don't know. But
how do you get there by a helicopter? Like what road? Look at the background.
Oh, it's awesome. Like
I'm sure
the drive
there.
to the track is just as fun as on the track. But who was just there? Is it Road and Track? It wasn't Road and Track. Top Gear was just there. They had a 997 911 GT3, and not only was the gentleman, I forget his name, driving his dream car, but he was driving his dream car in this track. It looked pretty cool.
And I didn't see it like how he wrapped, but like looking at these corners, looks like they've taken some from different F1 circuits.
Exactly.
Look, I see Circuit of America's on the left.
But imagine, like, I would love to someday, maybe in our dreams, we would be able to go overseas and experience some of the tracks.
I've always wanted to do Spa.
Yeah, Spa would be
just that corner. I mean, come on.
Nordschleifer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, those would be a couple of the top on the list.
And and I think that goes back to like the the $45,000 initiation fee or the $240,000 a year. I'd rather spend that money to do more tracks and do more track events because you can go to Spa and rent the Porsches and drive.
Yes.
And then
the Porsche experience with Manthey.
Beat their cars up. We know what it costs to maintain. I mean, granted, it's going to cost money,
cool.
But that's really that.
But that's, I mean, it'd be nice. They're building one. I think outside of out of Nashville or outside of Knoxville, something similar.
I mean, that's kind
as well, dude.
Oh my
Come
God.
on,
Look
dude.
at that.
That would be a lot of fun. It's like the Ozarks, you know.
Can you imagine that? Could you imagine that wet?
No.
I mean, you can maybe throw
It's
this
Formula One-esque.
You got to throw this up on the screen for the podcast, but and that's what I was talking about. You come around that corner, look at it, it's a cliff.
Dude, yeah. You don't want to lose your, you don't want to understeer into
I want
to
see a race in the rain on that track. Like,
That
look
would
at
be
that.
crazy.
Could you imagine?
No.
I mean, it's a drift circuit.
It looks fantastic.
be
It looks like one of those Tyco racetracks you set up in your basement on the floor.
Or like Sim City or whatever they used to have, where you could build your own like amusement park.
Yes.
Looks like someone just drew this up
and just carved it out of it.
Like, oh yeah, this will work.
Dude, imagine having that kind of cash.
Well, dude, look at the tunnels going under the track.
Yeah, how to get in and out of there. It was crazy.
I'm
sure
it was
someday,
cheap.
right? But this kind of leads into our second topic, which is track, a little bit of track prep, because you and I and Matt are heading to COTA for a Chin Track Day. We mentioned it, I think, a few times on this podcast, but we're heading there in a couple weeks.
Yep.
And, it's getting into crunch time. And I know you're as excited as we are.
I took the crunch time
No,
off.
well, yeah, but you're crunch time. Dude, you might say that, but
For
you're
the car.
crunch time.
Oh, yeah. We
You
still
got
got a lot of other
trailer,
stuff
tools.
Oh.
I mean, no one goes to a track event more prepped than we do.
And that's
I
the
hate to
funny
say
thing
it.
is that we because I mean, I think I'm more OCD about it, but like when we go to Road America, even though we're only an hour and depends on how we drive, hour and a half.
Yeah. Think about our support
the
van.
rally. Yeah, the support van's an hour and 45
Yeah.
minutes. But we have every part for the 500 on there. Granted, we service and we have all these 500s
Right.
we built, so we have
Right.
enough for them. But when we're halfway across the country, we can't just drive home.
Right.
Which we have to
That's
make
the
sure we have the right
scariest
stuff. 100%. And I think that's like a little bit. I mean, Matt's taking his 500 and we're doing all his, but like for me, I'm gonna take the 3RS down there, and I think a lot of it's just.
Reliability.
My 500's been awesome. It's been great and all that stuff. But when you're 963 to the wheels, like that's a lot of horsepower, a lot of stuff, and it's just for me. I think to get a real understanding of the track and stuff. Like when I'm amping it, because I'm thinking just numbers at Road America. I'm 20, 30 miles an hour faster on the stretch there with my green car than the RS was.
Sure.
So like everything amplifies up. So it's like in the RS, I think can get a little more trouble. It has better cornering and stuff like that. But it's also.
But I think a fair comparison is, to your point, is taking a stock GT500 and comparing to your car.
Yes.
Because your green car at 960 horsepower to the wheels and everything, all the modifications
R package,
did, which by the way, you would never know when you look at the interior. It looks like a completely stock 500. But you're driving that car and chassis probably at 10/10ths.
Yeah.
Where a 500 stock compared to what you've done to the car is probably 6/10ths.
Yeah.
I mean?
And
you could drive a stock.
I had the pleasure of owning a car stock like last year because as we're doing these builds on our cars, we wanted to get a stock baseline, and I did a 10 out of 10 lap with a stock one. I did a 223.6. And then I did a 216.9
with yours. But that's the same chassis.
It's the same chassis car. It's just with our upgrades and our power upgrades. And if people know Road America, to go from almost 7 seconds it's mind blowing. Yes. And just me knowing the difference in what it has to do. But it's cool. And we get, like you mentioned, like the interior, and like I have so many people come to me because they've seen my 216 lap time, be like, they come expecting the car to be nothing but race car, nothing but it's full. It's 100% full interior. It's a full car. It's just suspension upgrades. And if you want to know exactly what it is, you can go to our website and see our packages. But like, it's really not far from. I mean, it's bolt-ons.
But you're going to be, and the reason to get back to COTA is taking the GT3RS. You're going to be driving that car at 10/10ths by the time you're done with it. But the 10/10ths in that car, from a wear and tear, compared to the 10/10ths in the green car, it's night and day.
And I think
what I'm saying?
I think the big reason I'm not taking that car too is we also, after those 2 days, we're going to Eagles Canyon.
Yeah.
We got to cover 3 track days. And for me, the way I drive my 500 with the weight it is, I would need 3 sets of tires and wheels, and
Right.
that's just a lot
Right.
of hauling.
And I mean, everybody know. I mean,
Yeah.
you know that these cars, at least the GT cars, are built for the wear and tear and
Mm-hmm.
beating it up. And you know, they laugh at you and say, "Hey, I want some more. Bring it to me."
Yep.
But so you put a little bit of. So we're going to COTA. What's important to you on your car? And I'll tell you some of the things maybe if you don't touch what's
Yeah.
important to me. But when you look at your car, you've done what? Today you did tires.
So this morning, I got here early, did put the Cup 2R. Mike helped me with getting the tires, and then we did a track alignment. I maxed out the camber without doing shims and stuff because, as we did with the 500, we want to go in series because, like, yes, I know I'd want to do -4 in the front camber, -3.5 with slicks and stuff to get the most out of this car. But understanding this is the car, I just want to kind of take to different track days. But I want to progressively
And it's your
work
first time.
Yeah, with GT.
With this car. Yep.
I'll be able to understand it more and stuff like that. I was lucky enough to drive your 992 RS at Road America, and with my 500, I got to turn in earlier. If I turned into 5, I would jump right over I went right over the curbs with his car.
I didn't even touch the curbs in my car.
Exactly.
Thanks.
And
Thanks,
I was
Chuck.
the first one to get the curb. But it's just like a whole different turn in. Like it's just like it's what the car can do.
Yeah, it's
it's
just
just
different.
you have to you have to comprehend that in
Right.
your head. But
What else did you do?
I did the Motul 700 brake
Yeah,
flush because if you don't know when or what the fluid is, we talked about that in the initial in the series. So I did the Motul brake flush, full inspection of the car, kind of look over all the components, make sure everything looks good. Jim came over because he is. If you're ever looking to buy a car, you got to buy one of Jim's cars. Even though he tracks it, like he wiped down my entire wheel wells and everything.
When you have wheels off, whenever you have an opportunity to have wheels off on any car, it's hard for me.
I got scolded because I put a wheel on before.
Yeah,
before
no,
Jim,
he put it on.
Braden was over there, and
Right.
Jim's like, "Chuck, you put the wheel on before we clean it." I'm like, "Dude, we're going racing." He's like, let's
When
clean
you get
it.
to clean the
When
yellow
you get to
calipers,
clean
like the calipers, the inside of the wheel well.
So Jim literally, we took the wheel back. Jim literally detailed the whole inside, and Braden and I were just laughing. But hey,
It's just gonna get dirty. But
so you got like.
I mean, look,
Again.
it's gonna look new.
But that also that'll jump. We'll recircle back to that. But that's the whole thing. There's so many people that are so afraid to take their cars to the track because they feel like it's just going to break their cars. But if you look at any of Jim's cars that he's tracked, you've taken your 2RS to 6 different tracks across the country. You couldn't tell it.
Right.
But we'll jump back to that. But the other thing is, no matter what, like I want to torque my wheels myself. And with the center locks, we have the high torque wheel.
Where'd you get that from?
From Dundon. Dundon
That's
Motorsports.
an unbelievable tool.
Yes. And
Because
it takes
it's
a lot.
hard
Because you have to have 2 people to do it properly. I see a lot of people doing it with the wheels on the
can't.
ground. You're not supposed to do it, but they do it.
No,
and it's
you can't do
it's
that.
not
That's
the way to
shortcut.
It's shortcut, right? And that's when
You
you're
got what
tracking
you mean
stuff.
by that? You got to break the lug.
Yes.
With the
car.
car in the air
And torque it with it in the air.
and torque
you can't
it
have
with
it loaded.
So you need someone to put brake pressure on it.
Yes, and then you get a 14-mile pry bar. You can.
Right.
We'll probably pull a picture up to show
Jesus.
other people doing it because they're literally hanging on it.
Yes.
But we have this high torque gun, makes it easy. We
You
feel like-
leverage the spoke of one of the
I
wheels.
feel like
right?
Max Verstappen's pit crew, just like
Right.
it's a little slower.
Right, but you got to trust it.
yeah, exactly. My pit stop to do what they do in like theirs is 2.6 seconds. It took us all morning, but
Like 2 hours, 3 hours. If I didn't clean, maybe
exactly
it would be a little bit faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But yeah, so the full inspection, Cup 2 tires, the alignment, the brake flush. We had done the oil earlier in the
Right,
year, but it's
right.
always important to have the fresh oil for the season.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's-
and just for me, I'm also bringing an RS down, my RS. I'm not as aggressive as Chuck. I'm not messing with the track alignment. Yell at me later, but I'm coming down with a stock alignment. I'm still going to push pretty hard. I got a really good feeling. I think the car will do really well down there. I did a little bit of a livery, race livery. We can kind of show a picture. But from an exterior standpoint, tires, brakes, same thing, oil change. I left the alignment the same. Didn't do a brake flush yet because it's only seen 2 track days. I don't know if it's only, but my opinion, I'll go this season.
It hasn't even been a year.
Yeah, I'll
since
go
I
this
got it.
season and then
Yes.
I'll do it next
Yep.
year. But interior, right? We have the Garmin. We're gonna make sure the Garmins. We both have Garmin catalysts.
Yep.
Make sure that's all hooked up. You have harnesses.
I bring extra. We bring a whole extra Garmin
just in case.
Because that makes it, and that's probably a future thing to talk about. It makes it like a video game.
It makes it like a video. And by the way, look, we're all competitive.
Exactly.
And I don't encourage for people to go chase. I don't say beginners to chase times. It's not about the times, but ultimately it is, right?
Right.
We want to better ourselves. We want to set our own personal bests, and to have that. The Garmin Catalyst is a good tool.
Yes.
Now Porsche, for both of our Porsches, have the PC. What's the
it has it has the chronograph in there. The
chronograph.
Yeah. It's literally the track app.
The track app. It has the track app.
Track app. It literally
it actually shows up on the screen. But for me, I don't even. It's a little bit more complicated, probably.
I don't use it,
or at least from what I hear.
I use two, especially when I was going for my record lap times in the green car, because my biggest fear, and I've had it happen, is my Garmin flies off in the mid lap.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to stitch together a lap without traffic to get the lap times I'm trying to get of a 216 with no one in front of me.
Right.
As you can watch in my first 217, it took me 3 laps before I was able to get a clean lap. My number one fear is that thing comes off and then I don't know my lap time. And I try to have to figure another video, but I've been starting to run this draggy, they have draggy laps now, and it's really cool, some of the telemetry and stuff it shows you on that. And it was the same exact time as the Garmin.
So you're going to run 2?
Yeah,
you're
going to run 2.
Okay.
Yep, so I'm going to have that. It won't have video.
Let's make sure that's charged.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's the other piece, making sure everything is charged.
And that has that new draggy accesses 10 GPS signals. So, the Garmin going into turn 5 at Road America, you lose reception. So I get to 170 miles an hour, or the Garmin shows I only hit 170 because it loses reception. The draggy shows me going to 175 before braking because those trees block the Garmin signal. But the draggy is a pretty cool deal. So I think we're going to mess a little bit more with that, and you can link it to GoPros and stuff. But
we should check that out. I mean,
we'll report back on
myself. But the making sure things are charged. The Garmin. Radar, the radar's hooked in. We have radios that we take down. We always have radios, whether we're at the track or we're driving back and forth in case anybody has any issue or just to chew the shit and talk about what we're going to do.
Right.
We got to make sure the radios are packed. We always bring down a tire plug set. I mean, not to get into every tool because we have a whole trailer full of tools, but the little things, I don't know if people remember, but a tire plug set, just so we have in case you pick up a nail. You hate to drive wherever distance you're going, get there and be like,
and then if you have, and that's the thing is the rule is never race with a plug or put one in.
But shit, if I drive 2 days, I'm plugging my tire.
Guess what Chuck did? Chuck ordered a new set of Forge Line wheels with new sets of tires, and I'll have mine ready to go.
When you own a dealership, and when you don't, it's as simple as that.
I have a really big trailer too.
Big trailer. Can I put some wheels in there?
You can.
But but you got to find. So you don't need to find someone. I was thinking about bringing down some rubber, but I'd have to find someone to put on the tires. Tools that we need to bring down. We got to make sure the trailers are set.
Yeah, I have a pretty good selection of tools with working on my own stuff, but I have it all confined to a cart. We're just going to strap that in there. I'm going to take. We always. If you watch our channel, you know my love with my Zuma 125. I actually have 2 of those we're taking to COTA.
Moped, that'll be fun.
Because you can drive, being able to drive around the paddock and get around there with a moped while having to take your car is really fun.
Yeah.
And that makes it a little bit more enjoyable.
Right. Oil.
You see the whole track. Yeah.
Water to drink.
Exactly.
Because you're going to sweat.
I think the most important thing is that what you did is you secured one of the garages.
Oh, yeah. So at COTA, we're going to have a Formula One garage.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is we'll be able to be that was our garage. And,
we'll have to watch races, prior races, or
should we sneak a Middleton Motorsports sticker and see if it makes
it?
Hey, there it is.
Yeah. Maybe Max will pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw it out or something. I know these guys.
Yeah,
I watch your podcast.
I'm sure Max is watching.
Yeah, he's watching right now. Maybe we'll tag him and he'll follow us.
If he only saw my office, I think he would. He would at least give us a thumbs up or something.
So right. Well, it's all about him.
Exactly.
What are you doing? What's your thought on this? Will be a new track for both of us, and let me take a step back. I think we're going to go. We've set out our calendar. I think we have 8 or so track days planned. I say I should say track events.
I think we have 8 that we're for sure going to, single days. And then we have the other ones that are just going to be kind of spur of the moment. The green car, I'm saving that. And another reason I'm not taking Dakota, saving for that Max Track,
Yeah,
Max
the
Track 10.
the Hammer Track.
So
day up here at Road America.
And that's all the WRL race teams go up to practice for the weekend. I love to insert myself with my green car into that and have some fun with the race teams.
Stock S550 GT500
going 180 miles an hour down the front stretch.
But we're also thinking about Autobahn, which you and I both have done Autobahn before, but I've never done the full track. And I think I don't know if you've done the full track.
I've not done the full track.
So I think we have that on the schedule. I think it'd be kind of cool to run the full track there to see something different.
Yep.
It is a little bit tougher to get to. It is what it is. Ozarks, maybe. I hear a lot of good things about it, and I also hear a lot of bad things about it. Like,
I'm scared to take the green car because like people are saying their stock 500s are getting there, and like the gap of the stock one to mine is like night and day for the acceleration.
It's definitely going to require like that might be one track out of them all that, I mean, look, I'm on watching YouTube. We can sim or not sim the COTA, but I feel like COTA, you don't get the true elevation, but you get a sense of kind of the track. For me, I've watched
and it's so wide.
Plenty of Ozark. I don't think you really get the elevation of that track.
No.
Or the weight loss of that track.
I've seen some
and that
crazy,
is making sure your wheels are straight.
Shelby Fire has some crazy videos of like it's
and
jumping.
it's not wide.
No.
Because it looks like Nordschleife.
And I think that's where I'm gonna be honest. Like going to Blackhawk Farms my first time. When I went there, it was like I was more nervous going to Blackhawk than I am going to COTA because COTA is an F1 track.
Yeah,
I mean that thing's wide. I mean there's runoff everywhere. Yeah. It's wide. It's really wide.
Speeds are a little different.
Speeds are different, but still you can get a lot of trouble. I know a guy crashed his brand new Z06 at Blackhawk and totaled it there, and I think that there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more places you can get in trouble at some of these small tracks than like the big F1 tracks and stuff like that. And but yeah,
there looks like, and I think Eagles Canyon is another place where there's a lot of runoff and some fun to do. I'm excited to see that track.
I think Eagles Canyon, if you run off, you're going to be in like grass, but you're just going to be sliding grass for a while. But like Blackhawk, it's like a 2-lane highway,
trees,
and then there's like
fence,
it's
deer,
exactly.
Animals. Yeah, it's like weird. Cow farm.
I think honestly, I've done some pretty good laps in my cars, but I think my most fun lap I did there was on my Zuma 125 when I went around. When we rent Blackhawk and they kind of let it.
The Raptors.
They've come to know us and have fun. We did the Bronco Raptor, but it's just fun to take some random stuff around the track.
That'll be cool. I think maybe later in the summer we'll have some news for everybody on maybe what we're going to try to do. We'll keep that to ourselves for a second. Not to tease everybody, but
it's going to be pretty fun.
It could be a car trek-esque or what's the other one that those guys do when you're the BBC? What is that? Top Gear. Why do I forget that? Jesus, it's one of the most popular, if not the most popular show on TV for cars.
Because we're all scarred that it's not like what it is without Jeremy and the
although I
love
crew. Chris Harris. I think Chris
Harris can drive. One
of the best.
Yes.
Most entertaining YouTube talents, test drivers. He's awesome.
Yes.
I love for him. He's one guy I would love. Mel. I would love to go for a ride passenger seat with him in my own car.
100%.
Like, and just watch him drift it at 180 miles per hour. Like, holy shit.
Oh, it'll be fun.
While smiling, while he's laughing.
Hey, what's up? I'm talking to you.
Okay, so track prep. I think, so COTA's exciting. We'll definitely have a recap podcast of our experience there. There's a couple good videos I know we've been sharing with each other that are out there on kind of what to expect about COTA.
I have the lap time to beat so far for COTA.
Yeah.
I did a 137.
Okay, good luck. Good luck with that. Did you go from turn 1 to turn 20?
It was within I was within the limits.
You were in the track limits.
I was in Max Verstappen's car on F1 with my controller.
Dude, is that what they run?
Yeah,
they don't really run that.
Dude, literally faster than that. They're fast. They can go faster on that track than I can do.
Not to put you on the spot, but is that they really run 130?
Leclerc got the track record there in 2020.
Holy shit.
And it was like. You should look it up quick, Brayden. I think it's like a one.
Like track record.
No, I think it's like a 132.
Holy shit!
And like a fast, like some of the fastest GT3 cars we've seen are like the teens, like 215, 240.
And that's fast.
That's cooking.
That's cooking.
And
but
I think
a minute 30 anything. Well, I mean,
almost a minute 30, faster, right?
Minute 30 at Road America. It's a minute 40.
No, so they simulated like a F1 at
Oh, but I mean,
it was like
Indy.
140. Yeah, Indy cars are like 147, 150. Yeah, and that's like
moving.
That's moving.
Yeah.
So it says.
Leclerc has the fastest lap there, if I'm not mistaken.
And if it's not, just say
136.
136.
Yeah.
My gosh.
So I did 130. So you know what's crazy?
No,
is that I did a 137 with a controller, and he's faster than me in a real car.
That's crazy. And I'm sure,
And I might have exceeded track limits on that lap.
I was going to say that, but
the S is will get you.
136. And again, I haven't not been there yet, but
could you imagine sitting at this? But you see that he's
40-second difference.
But you've seen some of those things though, where they start like a street car, then they start and then the F1 car, and just the F1 car wins. It's
standing still.
Unbelievable the stuff, and I think we should have a whole podcast of talking about the technology of F1 and how F1 compares to what we're doing, because it's just hilarious.
I would need you to help.
And like the prices, we'll do the prices of like the wheels and tires. It's fun.
Yeah.
And you know I'm a F1 fanatic. I'm trying to drag Jim. He'll watch races and stuff with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a car fan, so it's hard not to enjoy it.
Exactly.
But I just don't know.
I'm just a fanatic.
Right, the races. We'll save that for a podcast. I'm really interested in to understand better what's going on with the whole.
I want to know what the hell are you throwing here, Braden? A Hyundai?
No, yeah, car news.
We want to thank our sponsors first.
Oh yeah, let's thank our sponsors. We do have sponsors.
We do have sponsors.
No, that's good. So hey, first of all, we couldn't probably have this podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have the podcast. Who are we kidding? But we definitely have some sponsors that we like to thank. Rap Lab, who's our rap partner. You've seen them, their work on a couple of one of Chuck's Baja Rap on his 23 Raptor.
The front of my RS, they did that.
The front of your RS. They did the work on my RS.
Yep.
And Andrew's Dolphin. We got something going on Will's car too. So Rap Labs.
I don't know if I want to have motorsports associated with what's going on with Will's car.
No, come on. We're a diverse group. We cater to all.
That's why we brought Jim along. That's why Jim runs motorsports, and like I'm held in the back room because some of the builds I like to make fun of, and, and Jim keeps me on track.
To all customers. Whether you want a double fry, whether you want orange wheels or not.
Will's my business partner. I have every right to absolutely ruin
fair.
his
Can we get back to our sponsors? Poor Rap Lab. They want to make raps.
Hey, they're still on. They're getting a lot of airtime.
Right. Rap Lab. Wheel Pros, another one of our sponsors. They help to supply wheels for us as well as tires. Great prices on Nittos, BF Goodrich. We got the fuel wheels there. We got the niche wheels there. We got we didn't get 1552, which is another sponsor of ours. 1552. We got your wheels for your Baja Raptor.
I'm going to test that at the dunes for you guys.
We're going to definitely test those. Who else, Brady? Oh, FCK Lights, which is right up Chuck's alley. We're going to be doing an interior light package on Will's F-150 Raptor. Just perfect. We're going to do it to your car next.
I will say it's they sent us like the most stickers and the coolest merch, flags, everything. Yeah. It's cool.
We're going to do a cool Galaxy theme and shooting stars in Will's F-150
I thought that was going in your RS.
No, maybe if it works. Not that if it works because of the quality, if it works because of our install. That'll be an interesting video. And
Oracle
lighting as well. They've supplied a lot of lights for your Raptor, the big monster lights we have.
And then at the end we always put the sponsor that makes it along with them that makes it all possible is Middleton Ford, because they're the one funding everything we're doing.
Perfect. Save that best for last.
That's the best for last.
Yeah. They really
started the whole.
I wouldn't be here without Middleton Ford. They cover all of our overhead.
Exactly. You want to support Middleton Motorsports? Buy Middleton Ford.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we probably couldn't have Middleton Motorsports because, why we're so competitive.
Exactly.
Because of Middleton Ford.
But that's what we talked about is that's why I think we can give such a genuine, honest, you talk people out of wanting to do stuff to their cars, because we're a performance shop that doesn't, at this point, we don't need to make. I'm gonna be honest. We lose money on motorsports every single month because we're growing. Because we're growing. But we want to get to the point where we're building the right product. We're growing right now. You're booked out for 2 months
at least.
We got 20-some tunes in the line. We are very, very busy. We have we have a lot of demand. But at the same point, we understand that we got to invest in every business. But thanks to Jim coming in, this is. We're having all this. There's structure all of a sudden.
Well,
but hey. Whatever.
We got to get there. We got to get to our path to profitability, like we talked about. But yeah, no, thanks to those sponsors, Rap Lab, Wheel Pros, Oracle, FCK, Middleton Ford, all big sponsors. Is that good, Braden?
That's good.
Yeah,
Right,
we're going to pay your salary now.
Yep.
Yeah.
With all those sponsorships. So last topic, car news. You had some things you brought up this week to me that I thought was really interesting. So what is that?
Is this
Can
a
you
joke?
tell us?
This is the. It's not.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Is this like?
No, dude. Wait till we show you this. I mean, what Braden shared with me, I had a chance to
I'll be
watch this
quiet.
video. So what is the car again?
It's a Hyundai Ioniq 5N.
A Hyundai Ioniq 5M.
N.
And
N.
N.
Sell me this car.
And dude, first of all, the looks, it's like a hot hatch, right? I mean, that's basically what it looks like.
Relatively.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
All fully electric. I mean, insanely powerful, like every electric car. Probably knocks your socks off from an acceleration standpoint. But from what I understand, this one's more than acceleration.
It's a lot more than acceleration in this one.
Yeah. So one of these features, let me show you. So, what before you do this, one of the issues, what would be the number one issue, Chuck, put you on the spot with electric cars? Maybe top 2 or 3. First thing that comes versus combustion.
I have 3 high-speed chargers that I've had in my installed Power 2 for 4 months.
Right.
That I can't get the infrastructure to make it a public charger.
Okay, well, that's
to be able to charge it.
That's fair. That's another plug for Milton Ford.
Yeah, exactly.
But like sound, right? Ultimately,
Sound 100%.
right? I
Sound.
mean, that's it, right? The kind of visceral feeling
And-
you get from the sound.
When you crash at the track, you're going to shut the whole track down. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's going to
well.
burn for 4 days.
Well, from a fire standpoint, tough to put the batteries out. Right?
And you know what's crazy? Remember, so at Road America, they always ask if you have
No,
an
they
electric
always do.
vehicle
And come
because
see
if
me.
you jaw a life in the wrong spot, it kills the operator
Yeah.
immediately.
No, they want you to bring the blueprints of the car to the track days.
No, literally.
For people with electric cars, maybe capable, more than capable, but you got to make sure you bring the blueprint for the car, at least so you can tell it.
So track prep. If you have an
Yes.
electric car, make sure you have the
it's fair.
schematics of the car. you know.
But it's sound.
Yep,
Okay.
no
And
sound.
when Braden showed me this, I'm going to play it for you. If you think about sound and like shifting, rolling gears, right?
Yep.
Like in a manual or in a dual clutch, play this now. This is an electric car. Okay. And for the people, we'll put this online so you can see it or hear it. But I think this is pretty. Okay. Dude. Burbles. Did you just hear burbles? Downshifting?
I hate burbles. You know that.
No, but forget the burbles, dude.
Okay.
But like, this is all digitally done. He's rolling gears.
Is he shifting?
Yes.
But
he's
even-
shifting
but
with paddles.
He's fake shifting, but it's like
Well, he's fake
because
shifting.
there's obviously no gearbox.
Right.
He can play with it.
But not only can you roll gears, like, let's just say, watch this one. You can change it to like an F1.
F1 car?
Like, he's rolling gears in an F1 car. Like,
know-
sound.
Did you know that Borla actually sells a thing for the Mach-E's? It's a Borla electric. It's same thing. It like emits a sound.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, okay, yeah, I'm not a electric hater, but at the end of the day, if they could continue to get to a place where, dude, supersonic.
Ford does have, they developed a sound like in their Mach-E's that has like it's like a engine, but
The guy's
but being
rolling
able to
gears
change
with
rolling
shifting
gear,
with paddles. I mean, and it's internal and external. Wouldn't that be fun? Come on, I know you're kind of pulling you over to the dark side here, but I think that's pretty darn cool. Now, don't look at the car. You can't think about what you're hearing.
I think what we're talking. I think you bring
But
this
think
up
about
of the
where this
idea of
goes.
where it goes, right?
Right?
Because that's where.
I mean, Porsche's now doing hybrid, and I'm not saying everything. And I'm a big, look. We won't get into politics.
Does
and all
that
this and
does
the
that
cost.
battery weigh more than our car, like our RSs?
I'm sure the car weighs 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. I don't quote me on that, but at the end of the day, think about what you can do with technology. You can actually simulate while you're driving that you're in the sound of it based on the speed of the car and the deceleration or acceleration.
It's so sad that that's potentially the future.
It's the future, man. Well, the future is going to be something in your head. You're going to be sitting on your couch like a lump, and you're just gonna pretend you're.
You know what I saw? So the other day, someone posted this, and I think they hit this on the head. Imagine it's flip-flopped. Imagine that everything right now is electric cars, right? So everything we have is electric cars.
Yep. I'm following.
That's what we initially. So internal combustion.
So you don't
engine
know
is,
anything.
So the internal combustion engine has not been invented. We've been on electric cars our entire lives, right? So our range is the electric cars 300 miles. 400, whatever. Plus or minus, and it takes 40. They come out with an internal combustion engine. And they say
it's clever. I like what you're doing.
Okay, so they just have this new technology. Right. You can refill it in a minute.
Right.
The thing has.
They found this fuel, miraculous fuel called coal.
Coal, literally.
It's in the ground. Oh my God!
And we have more than enough to run for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Right. I like it.
We can refuel at these fuel stations like within no time. We don't have to wait 30, 40 minutes in line to get your battery. The easeability to fix it, it weighs literally 2,000 pounds less. Right. So it's a lot less. It's safer for accidents because you don't have that much mass. Because in physics, your kinetic energy is your weight. So you have way less, and it's way in the fuel.
You know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You're predicting the future.
Right.
Like
it's reverse
like
because everybody would bail on like for the benefits of what internal combustion has, right, and all the benefits of it, and being able to service it and all that stuff without the battery and being able to not have to pay $20,000 or whatever to reserve it and have special techs and take this long to repair. Like people their minds would be blown right now. The internal combustion engine would literally be like, oh my God. Right. This is the most insane thing ever. We can go across the country without having to worry about charging our batteries or doing this or doing that.
I can do this in 3 minutes?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the range is like up to, you have some stuff that can go 800 miles.
I think it would scare the shit out of people.
Yes.
Like the sound, like, oh my God, something's exploding.
Yes.
Like
there's a controlled burn in my car.
Something's on fire.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, there's smoke coming out of the tailpipe. That would be like insane to think about.
But then just imagine the energy, like the feeling of like the sound of like the first time you hear like you have this electric car and you hear a V8 and you're like,
visceral. It's
holy cow. But
first, some people will be like,
not getting political. You don't have to go and dig. You have what it takes to make these lithium batteries.
No one wants to think about that. No one wants to think about
that. It's way easier to produce. It's easier to get oil, and it's easier to make these engines than it is an electric car. But
the Iconic 5 got us down this.
Yes.
Is it Iconic 5?
Ioniq.
Exactly. It's iconic now.
Exactly.
But no, I hear you. I think that, like I said, I think you're predicting future. Someday, maybe everything goes back.
Right.
Right.
But I think some manufacturers are already starting that. Well, you have some people like BMW that are just like hydrogen's the future.
Yeah.
But you had the oil companies blocking the electric.
Alternative fuels for sure.
Well, look at F1. They're coming out with a fuel that's like 100% sustainable. Yeah. I mean, they're not looking. There's the problem is, and I think every way. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. It's all politics.
Oh,
it's 100% politics. Completely. Because when you plug your car into the charger, like everybody assumes that's coming from the sun and the wind energy, but we don't. We have a coal burning thing downtown that makes all of our power. So that's just going to work harder.
Right.
But it's going to. Anyways, I digress.
I got you.
So
what's the next car?
2024 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio.
Our Italian friends. I mean, I dig this car. I really do. Now, real quick history.
Does Ferrari still own them?
I don't know if
did they ever own?
I don't know if Ferrari owns them. But is there a partnership? Is there a partnership?
I thought there was something with Ferrari.
It's a Ferrari motor.
That's what.
Yeah, they definitely share parts. But I told you a story, Chuck. Like growing up, high school for me, which I'm dating myself. I started at a Ford dealership, and it was Ford, Alfa, Subaru. And the Alphas that were there, I forget, we had the Quadrifoglio at the time, that sedan, that four-door sedan. You probably throw it up on the screen, you'll look it up, like 1989-ish. And then they had that little two-seater with the shifter.
You're going to have to educate Braden because he wasn't alive yet.
But they had the shifter like on the dash. Like it was a shifter that came out straight. A little two-door. But they were the biggest pieces of crap, like ever.
Ever.
And I think that was a stigma for them.
We should have a whole podcast series of, is there a car in the 90s that was awesome and reliable?
Oh, man. In the 90s?
E36.
Wow.
Anyway,
Toyota Supra.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to tell your super story someday.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But, okay, look at this thing. I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
I hate it.
It's a BMW.
I don't
it's
like
an
the
M3.
front end.
It's an M3 killer.
Competition.
I mean, that's what they say.
Or like their competitor.
It's their competitor.
I don't like the front, like.
But that's
the
classic
shield.
Alfa, right? I mean, the sound of these is pretty insane in the wheels. I think it's reliability,
dude. But that's literally like I'm copying BMW. I'm sorry, like literally like. If you look at that, you had a few drinks.
It looks like an older M
You
car.
had a few drinks. You look at the back of that car. You're like,
yeah. Go back to the back again.
Like kind of look at it, like kind of like.
No, well, it looks like an Infinity almost.
Dude, squint at.
It's got like that
Jim,
Infinity.
squint at it right now.
No, it looks
It's
like
an M3.
yeah. Well, M3.
Does it not?
M3. No, it's an M3. It's like it's hard for someone to come up with
like
an original idea.
It's like an F1. Like everybody copied.
Yeah, no, it's hard to have an original idea, right? Yeah.
Everybody copied the Red Bull car this year. Red Bull went a different direction and killing everybody.
Dude,
but
like,
like,
look at the wheels. And the
why not copy like one of the #1 selling sedans in the world? Like,
of
do
course.
it.
I mean, you could look at Audi a little bit in that. I mean, you can definitely look at.
Dude, but that rear fender is literally like the iconic M3 now, like where they have that wide body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that quarter look is literally.
I wonder what the
M3.
size, if it's as big as an M3 is now, but it looks like it is.
Yeah, it's about the same size.
What's
as
your
the
thought on
3
this?
I think they're cool.
Yeah.
They sound insane.
No, they do have a deep. They do have a deep.
It's a 2.9 liter,
2.9 liter. V6.
505 horsepower.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I like it. The reliability of it would be a question. They got that
Where do you
Shamrock.
Where do you service it? At least in this town.
I don't know. I think there's. I know like a neighbor of mine had an Alpha. I don't know where they got it
I
from.
mean, we can
I don't know.
I mean, we can work on anything, but like if you want warranty work, like where do you go?
Probably Milwaukee, Chicago. I don't think there's one in Madison. That's for sure.
I like the diffuser in the back.
I like the color.
Yeah.
It's like a dark green.
Weird. That's the if you pull up the M3 launch color for the F8 or the G80,
Right.
well, look at it.
I
It's
wonder
literally that green, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny.
No, it's cool.
It's literally.
Yeah, that's green. The Europeans
If
like
it ain't
green.
broke, don't fix it. If
I dig the
if it ain't broke,
patch on
copy
the
it.
side. I dig the patch on the side. I don't know if you have a picture of that. And I should know, but
We
I don't
did.
know what the significance of the Shamrock or the 4-leaf clover.
We did downpipes and tune on 2 of those. Like not the new one, but the last.
Really?
Yeah, they sound pretty good. They're pretty quick.
I didn't know. Well, it was before me. But
Yeah, but we did tune
Ceramic brakes.
downpipes and everything.
Yeah, that's a cool one. I know that's a hot car right now. I think they're like every YouTuber and car reviewer is reviewing them right now. What else, Brady? Anything else from a car news standpoint?
The new 5
No,
liter.
I got news that's not on here today. I got an email today.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about it.
I got another follow-up email for my GTD application. That the testing, like their testing's going good with the GTD, and everything's on, and they're looking at Q2 orders.
Nice. Oh no, Q2 application.
Application.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So to do the process. So
Are they gonna? Do we know if they're gonna be 25? I'm assuming they'll be 25, or are they gonna be 26s? You think they'll be that far out?
I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea.
I do have a lot of connections with Ford, of to which I can't talk about it on this podcast, but I just don't know what I can and can't
Hopefully
say.
that connection helps you out with a GTD.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I've no, yeah. So I do know what they stated in that email is true, that things are going well with
That's
the
awesome.
production. So
For me, the GTD is not 100%, but like I'm going to say it that way, 100% about do they back up what they say they are going to try to attempt at Nuremberg,
like
which is 630,
630
plus,
something.
You know,
Because if it truly can
it needs
do
to be
that,
under 7, and not just under 7.
Right.
Like if it's in the 640s, I'm jumping for joy.
100%.
650s, well, I mean, you get to like close
That's
to
what
7.
that's what my 3RS
But
is.
low 650s, I'm jumping for joy.
630s. Yeah.
630s, they're going
Anything
to sell
6.4.
they're going to
it's
sell
gonna-
every one of them.
Yeah.
And they probably sell every one of them now. But if it's a 7+ car for 300+ thousand, it's going to be
You can't release that car if it's over 7.
right. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, you
Now they're
can't.
saying they are going to get under there, and dude, all the aero
In
that it looks like,
technology, I see. I think in the power that they're claiming,
they
I think
should
they
be
can
able
do it.
to. But that would be.
I don't think they
insane.
make those claims if they don't have some sort of simulator representation that they'll be close to
Right.
it.
Right.
To be honest, But we'll see. I mean, the tire size is communicating. But if they do, like I was talking to Jim earlier, like I will take that car to Grid Life. I will take that car to competitively race that car against in time attack stock. And I think Ford would love to see that.
Well, that's what they say.
Right.
They say they want this car to go to people who are going to use it. And
I think the true test is whether or not
where their mouth is.
Right, because I'm telling you right now, no one will track that car.
No,
like I would. Hard. I'm going to take it to every track, try to get as fast a lap time as I can. Mm-hmm. We have a benchmark car to go up against. It's going to come down to what does it weigh.
That would be.
What is that? But yeah, I love.
We deserve one. I know we have enough applications out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But we should get one with all the Fords that. But you own 350 of them.
Exactly.
And for the number that I have.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We should.
And if you aren't in the price range of buying a $300,000 to $350,000, $375,000 car,
take your application.
we can build you now.
Oh yes,
a Mustang.
I thought you were going to say take your application off the table.
No. we can take a Mustang, the new Mustang S650. Now they just released, and we can do an 810 horsepower, 650 foot-pound. We can install it for you at the dealership, Middleton Ford. It's actually done at Middleton Motorsports.
They just announced that.
Under warranty.
Right?
Yes.
They just announced that last week.
And did you place an order?
I placed an order for a few of them in anticipation. And I have a few customers that
are you going to do it on an F-150?
Well, that's it. So we have the Dark Horse customers out there that have already come to me and want me to order through Ford Performance. They're waiting for the Ford Performance, to your point, so they can get the 336 on it.
Yes.
Which is insane, right?
To have warranty,
on that.
We've done a lot of those.
But I'm also building for the channel, not for the channel, for the store and the channel, a 2024. Got a little bit of crap for this, but I think if there's an opportunity, they're on YouTube. A 2024 base F-150 XL single cab, 2-wheel drive, and I ordered the Ford Performance supercharger for it. So I'm aiming with wheels lowered, supercharger, aiming for under $50,000 sticker for 700 plus horsepower.
That's gonna be cool
in a pickup. I mean, come on. So hit us up, DM us if you're interested, because I just got confirmation.
That's cool.
The order it's being built on the 15th.
And then we just
April.
And
we just got confirmation on the Whipples or on the Ford Performance.
Yep.
So hopefully it all comes together and we have this thing done mid-May.
While we're on the supercharger topic, we should talk about our relationship with VMP and Whipple. They did a joint venture on a supercharger. Mm-hmm. They're sending to us for the charity vehicle that we got for the charity Dark Horse through Cruise for a Cause that we're going to be installing. So we'll do a build series on that and behind the tune of us putting that on and seeing what that does. It'll be fun to see what that does in correlation, because it's the same tuner that's tuning the Ford kits and the VMP kit. So we'll see how they do, because I think we're doing like a stage 2 on that. But stay tuned on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
for that.
So a lot of exciting news from Ford. I mean, your emails on the GTD and then Ford Performance announcement. We have a couple builds going on, not only on this S650, but on an F-150 2024, as well as an F-150 Raptor that we're going to be doing some wheels and wrap and tires on it. So a lot going on here.
Yep.
I think that's going to do it for us, Chuck. Thanks for the time again. Thanks for everybody watching. Thanks for our sponsors, Wrap Lab, Wheel Pros, Oracle Lights, FCK Lighting. Thank you, Light Bar, I should say. Thank you for your sponsorship. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Check us out at middletonmotorsports.com for our builds and updates, and we'll see you next time.
I think we should add one thing.
Go ahead.
If there's anybody still watching or listening.
That would be insane. Do you want to give them something?
Yeah, we can give them something too.
T-shirt, sweatshirt?
Exactly. Put a comment. I think we should have them bet on what our lap times are going to be at COTA. We have 2 days.
Okay.
Put down in there, and whoever gets the
Matt,
Matt,
each
and
of us.
Yes.
Each of us.
So put a lap time for each of us.
Right.
So whoever gets the closest for each one of our lap times, we'll send a little merch care package.
And how about if someone says what 3 topics we talked about
Yeah, we can enter that. That's fine.
And
too.
if they just say that,
yes,
we'll send
blend,
them.
Yes.
If they DM us, first one to do that, we'll send them a hat.
First one to DM us.
Send
That
them
will
this hat.
Yes, 100%.
New
Let's do
hat,
it.
not this
Yes.
hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But the person closest on each one of our cars to the lap
We'll send
time
them
in the
this hat.
counts, we'll send them the hat. Yeah.
Yeah. Not this hat.
And on my car, if they guess the right time on my car, the closest on my car, I'm gonna give them a shirt too.
Okay.
Deal?
Yeah. Sounds good. I'm still
I'm ready.
ready. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Peace.